I never planned to notice her, but one moment was enough to shift the ground under my feet. People think my job is to find the truth. No one believes the truth can find me first and change everything. I met Viondra Crest on a day I wasn't supposed to notice anyone, but one look at her changed everything I thought I knew about control, truth, and myself. The hotel lobby smelled like winter roses, an expensive perfume. I stood near the marble columns, clutching my notes, feeling completely out of place. Everyone around me wore tailored suits and designer dresses. I had on my best blazer, but it still felt cheap under these crystal chandeliers. I was here to cover a business summit for the network. My boss said it would be good experience. I said it would be torture. Turns out we were both right. I checked my notes again. Interview 3 executives. Get quotes about the luxury market. Don't embarrass yourself. Simple enough, except I couldn't figure out where the main conference room was, and I was too proud to ask. That's when I saw her. She stood near the windows where winter light poured through the glass. Tall, elegant, wearing a charcoal suit that probably cost more than my rent. Light brown hair pulled back perfectly. She was talking to 2 men in business attire, but her presence made them look like background noise. I knew who she was immediately. Viondra Crest, founder and CEO of Crest Lifestyle. Her company dominated the luxury industry. Hotels, fashion, technology. She had had her hands in everything that mattered to people with money. I wasn't supposed to approach her. She wasn't on my interview list. Too high profile. Too busy. To everything. But I couldn't stop staring. She glanced up and our eyes met across the lobby. Dark brown meeting light brown. Something passed between us. Recognition, maybe. Curiosity. I don't know. But I felt it in my chest like a pulled thread. Then she excused herself from the men and started walking toward me. My heart hammered. I looked down at my notes, pretending I hadn't been staring. Pretending I had everything under control. You look lost? Her voice was smooth, confident, the kind of voice that made you want to listen. I looked up. She was even more striking up close. Sharp cheekbones, eyes that seemed to see right through me, a small smile playing at her lips. I'm not lost, I said quickly. Just reviewing my notes. For the 3rd time in 2 minutes, I felt my face heat. You were watching me. Hard not to notice someone standing in the middle of the lobby looking like they're about to bolt. She wasn't wrong. I wanted to leave. Go back to covering local stories where I knew what I was doing. I'm here for the summit, I said. I'm a reporter, Elira Ellwood. Viondra Crest. She extended her hand. I shook it. Her grip was firm, warm. She held on just a second longer than necessary. I know who you are, I admitted. Everyone does. And yet you weren't planning to approach me. You're not on my interview list. That's never stopped a reporter before. I don't chase people who don't want to be chased. Something flickered in her eyes. Interest, maybe. She tilted her head slightly, studying me. The conference room is on the 3rd floor, she said. East wing. You'll want to take the elevator past the lounge. Thank you. And Elira. Yes. If you want an interview, ask. I appreciate directness. Before I could respond, she walked away, leaving me standing there with my notes and a strange flutter in my stomach. I watched her disappear into the crowd, watched the way people stepped aside for her without her having to ask, watched the way she carried herself like she owned not just the room but the entire building. I took a breath and headed for the elevators. Something told me this assignment just got a lot more complicated. I found the conference room exactly where Viondra said it would be. The event was already underway. Executives mingled with champagne glasses. A presentation droned on about market trends. I interviewed 2 people from my list, got decent quotes, did my job. But I kept looking for her. She was everywhere and nowhere. I'd catch glimpses across the room, talking to investors, shaking hands, always composed, always in control, never once looking my way. Maybe I imagined that moment in the lobby. Maybe it meant nothing. I was packing up my equipment when someone tapped my shoulder. Miss Ellwood. I turned. Viondra stood there holding 2 glasses of wine. She offered me one. I don't usually drink while working, I said. The event's over. You're off the clock. I hesitated, then took the glass. Our fingers brushed. That same flutter returned. Did you get what you needed? She asked. Mostly. A few quotes about luxury markets. Consumer trends. The usual. Sounds boring. It is. She smiled. Actually smiled. It changed her whole face, made her look younger, less untouchable. You said I could ask for an interview, I said before I lost my nerve. I did. So I'm asking. Right now. If you have time. She glanced around the room. Everyone was leaving. Servers were clearing tables. The event was winding down. Let's sit, she said. We found 2 chairs near the windows. The city stretched out below us, lights beginning to flicker on as evening approached. Snow fell softly against the glass. I pulled out my recorder. Do you mind? Go ahead. I hit record and suddenly felt nervous. This wasn't some mid-level executive. This was Viondra Crest. I needed to not mess this up. What drives Crest Lifestyle's success? I started with something safe. Quality. Authenticity. We don't sell products. We sell experiences that matter. Standard CEO answer. I expected more. That sounds like a press release, I said. Her eyebrow lifted. Excuse me. I mean no disrespect, but every luxury brand says that. What actually makes you different? Silence. She studied me over her wine glass. I worried I'd crossed a line. Then she laughed, soft and genuine. You're right. That was a terrible answer. She set down her glass. What makes us different is that I don't care about being the biggest. I care about being the best. I'd rather have 10 clients who truly value what we offer than 1,000 who just want the label. That's risky in business. Everything worth doing is risky. I wrote that down. You started Crest Lifestyle 12 years ago with almost nothing. Now you're worth millions. What was the hardest part? Trusting myself. Everyone had opinions about what I should do, how I should run things, who I should become. I had to learn to ignore all of it and follow my own vision. Do you still struggle with that? She paused, really thought about it. Sometimes, especially in my personal life. That wasn't what I expected. Can you elaborate? No. The word was firm but not unkind. A clear boundary. I respected it. What's next for Crest Lifestyle? I asked instead. Expansion into sustainable luxury. People want beautiful things, but they also want to feel good about their choices. We're developing a line that delivers both. We talked for 20 more minutes. She was smart, thoughtful, didn't give me rehearsed answers. She actually engaged with my questions, challenged some of them, made me think harder about what I was asking. When I finally turned off the recorder, the room was nearly empty. Thank you, I said. This was really helpful. You ask good questions, Elira. No games, no attempts to trap me. I appreciate that. I just want the truth. Most people want a story. The truth is the story. She smiled again. I like the way you think. We stood. I gathered my things. She walked me to the elevator. Will I see you at future events? She asked as we waited. If my boss sends me, probably. I hope she does. The elevator arrived. I stepped inside. Turned to face her. Goodbye, Miss Crest. Viondra, just Viondra. The doors closed between us. I rode down alone, trying to ignore the way my heart was still racing, trying to tell myself it was just adrenaline from a good interview. But I knew better. Something had shifted in that room. Something I didn't quite understand yet. 3 days passed. I wrote the article. My editor loved it, said it was some of my best work. I told her thanks and tried to forget about Viondra Crest. Tried and failed. I kept thinking about the way she looked at me, the way she listened, like my questions actually mattered, like I mattered. I was editing a piece about local politics when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. The message was simple. Coffee tomorrow, Viondra? I stared at the screen, read it 3 times. How did she even get my number? My fingers hovered over the keyboard. Professional distance said I should decline. Curiosity said something else entirely. How did you get my number? I typed back. I have resources. Is that a yes? I bit my lip. This felt dangerous. Not physically, just dangerous in a way I couldn't name. Where and when? I'll send a car, 10 in the morning. We're something comfortable. I can meet you somewhere. I know, but I want to send a car. There was something about the way she phrased it. Not demanding, just certain. Like she knew I'd say yes eventually, so why waste time pretending otherwise? Okay. See you tomorrow, Elira. I set my phone down and stared at my computer screen without seeing it. What was I doing? This wasn't professional. This was personal. And personal with someone like Viondra Crest felt like standing at the edge of something vast. The next morning, I changed outfits 4 times, settled on dark jeans and a cream sweater. Simple, comfortable, like she said. I pulled my dark brown hair into a loose ponytail and skipped the heavy makeup. The car arrived exactly at 10, a sleek black sedan. The driver opened the door without a word. We drove for 20 minutes into a part of the city I rarely visited. Quiet streets, expensive brownstones, trees heavy with snow. We stopped in front of a small cafe tucked between 2 buildings, the kind of place that didn't advertise, that you had to know about to find. Viondra waited inside at a corner table. She wore casual clothes, well, casual for her. Black pants, a soft gray sweater, hair down around her shoulders. She looked younger, more relaxed. You found it, she said as I approached. Your driver found it. I just sat in the car. She smiled. Fair enough, sit. I did. A server appeared immediately with coffee. Real coffee. The kind that smelled like it cost more than my grocery bill. You come here often? I asked. When I need quiet. Nobody knows about this place. No photographers, no business associates, just coffee and peace. And now me, and now you. We sat in comfortable silence for a moment. Snow fell outside the window. The cafe was warm, intimate, only 3 other tables occupied. Why did you invite me here? I asked finally. Because I wanted to see you again. Her directness caught me off guard. We barely know each other. That's why I invited you. To change that. I'm a reporter. You're a CEO. This feels complicated. Only if we make it complicated. Everything's complicated with people like you. People like me. I gestured vaguely. Successful, powerful, private. And what are you, Elira? Normal, regular, not from your world. She leaned forward slightly. My world is lonely, calculated, full of people who want something from me. You didn't want anything. You just asked honest questions. Do you know how rare that is? I was doing my job. You were being yourself. Something in her voice made my chest tighten. This wasn't just friendly coffee. This was intentional, purposeful. I don't understand what you want from me, I said softly. I don't either yet. But I'd like to find out. We talked for 2 hours about everything and nothing. She asked about my work, my life, what made me become a reporter. I asked about her company, how she built it, what kept her up at night. She was easier to talk to than I expected. Funny in a dry, subtle way. Smart, obviously, but also curious. She listened like every word mattered. When we finally left the cafe, the afternoon was gray and cold. Can I see you again? She asked. Viondra, I don't know if that's a good idea. Why not? Because you're you and I'm me, and this feels like it could get messy. Life is messy, Elira. That's what makes it interesting. She stepped closer, not touching. Just close enough that I could smell her perfume. Something expensive and subtle. Think about it, she said. No pressure. The car took me home. I spent the rest of the day pretending I wasn't thinking about her. Pretending I didn't want to see her again. Pretending my hands weren't shaking when I texted her that evening. Yes, I'd like to see you again. Her reply came instantly. Good, I'll be in touch. I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, wondering what I'd just agreed to, wondering why the thought of seeing her again made me feel so alive. Viondra didn't waste time. The next day, she texted me during lunch. Dinner Friday. I hesitated. Dinner felt different than coffee. More intentional. More like a date. Just dinner, I asked. Just dinner and conversation. I promise I don't bite. Where? My place. I'll cook. That surprised me. You cook? I have many skills, Elira. Let me show you some of them. My face flushed reading that. There was nothing inappropriate about the words, but something in them felt charged. Okay. Friday. I'll send the car at 7. Work consumed the next few days. A corruption story at City Hall. 3 interviews. Hours of research. But Viondra texted me every morning. Nothing heavy. Just small things. Good morning. Hope your day goes well. Saw your article. Excellent work. Still thinking about our coffee. Each message made me smile. Made me check my phone more than I should. Made me feel like a teenager with a crush. Friday arrived. I changed clothes 5 times again. Settled on a dark blue dress. Simple but nice. I left my hair down. Added light makeup. The car ride felt longer than it should. My stomach twisted with nerves. This was crossing a line. We both knew it. Viondra's building was in the Upper East Side. Doorman marble lobby. Everything screamed money. The elevator took me to the top floor. Only one door in the hallway. I knocked. She answered immediately. She wore black pants and a white silk blouse. Hair pulled back. Minimal jewelry. She looked stunning. Come in, she said warmly. Her apartment was beautiful. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Minimalist furniture. Art on the walls. Everything perfectly placed but somehow still feeling lived in. This is incredible, I said. Thank you. I don't usually bring people here. Why me? She closed the door behind us. Stood close. Because you feel different. The air between us felt electric. She didn't touch me, but I felt her presence like heat. Wine? She asked. Please. She poured 2 glasses of red, led me to the living room. We sat on the couch. City lights sparkled below us. Snow had stopped, but the streets still looked like a painting. Dinner will be ready in 20 minutes, she said. I hope you like Italian. I like most things. Good, so do I. We talked easily. She asked about my childhood, growing up in a small town upstate. My parents, who still didn't quite understand my career choice, moving to the city at 23, with nothing but ambition. She shared less, but what she gave felt significant. Her parents passed when she was young. She built her company from scratch, worked 18-hour days for years, sacrificed everything for success. Do you regret it? I asked. The sacrifice. Yes, she considered this. Sometimes success is lonely. People see the money and power, they don't see the nights alone. The relationships that failed because I couldn't give enough. The constant pressure. You could slow down. I don't know how. Dinner was perfect. Homemade pasta. Fresh bread. She really could cook. We ate at her dining table. Talked more, laughed. The wine made everything warmer, easier. After dinner, we returned to the couch. Sat closer this time. Her leg almost touched mine. I need to tell you something, she said. My heart jumped. Okay. I'm attracted to you, Elira. Very attracted. I have been since I saw you in that lobby, looking lost and beautiful. I couldn't breathe. I know this complicates things. I know you probably have concerns, but I don't believe in pretending. I wanted you to know. I'm attracted to you too, I admitted. But I'm scared. Of what? Of this? Of you? Of how different our lives are. She reached over, took my hand. Her thumb brushed my knuckles. I'm scared too, she said softly. I haven't felt like this in years, maybe ever. And it terrifies me. What do? We take it slow. We figure it out together. No pressure. No expectations. I looked at our joined hands. This was happening, really happening. Okay, I whispered. She smiled, leaned in slowly, giving me time to pull away. I didn't. Her lips touched mine, soft, gentle, testing. I kissed her back, let myself fall into it. When we pulled apart, my whole body was trembling. Stay a little longer, she asked. I should go. I know, but stay anyway. We sat together on that couch talking until midnight. Her hand never left mine. And when the car finally took me home, I touched my lips the entire ride. Everything had changed. The package arrived at my apartment on Monday. I wasn't expecting anything. The delivery man made me sign 3 times, said it was valuable. Inside was a leather box, the kind that holds jewelry. My hand shook opening it. A necklace, delicate gold chain with a small pendant, a tiny compass, beautiful and clearly expensive. The note was handwritten, so you never feel lost again, Viondra. I sat on my couch holding it. This was too much. Way too much. We'd kissed once, had dinner, that didn't warrant gifts like this. I called her immediately. Did you get it? She answered. Viondra, this is too expensive. You don't even know what it cost. I can tell. I can't accept this. Why not? Because it's too much, too soon. Because I don't want you to think you need to buy my affection. Silence on the other end. Then a sigh. That's not what this is, Elira. I saw it and thought of you. I wanted you to have it. That's all. But it's so expensive. Money means nothing to me. It's just paper. What matters is the thought behind it. And I thought of you. I closed my eyes. She sounded genuine, almost hurt that I was rejecting it. I'm not used to this, I said quietly. I'm not used to people giving me things, especially expensive things. Then get used to it, because I like giving you things. It makes me happy. Why? Because you deserve beautiful things, Elira, and because seeing you smile is worth more than any amount of money. My chest ached. Nobody had ever talked to me like that. Okay, I said finally. I'll keep it. But please don't make this a habit. I'm not promising that. I could hear the smile in her voice. Thank you, I said. It's beautiful. You're welcome. Wear it and think of me. I already think of you too much. Good, I think of you constantly. We talked for an hour about nothing important. About everything. She told me about a difficult meeting. I told her about a story I was chasing. Normal conversation. Except nothing felt normal anymore. When I hung up, I put the necklace on. It sat perfectly at my collarbone. Light enough to forget. Heavy enough to remember. Heavy enough to remember. I wore it every day after that. The texts became more frequent. Good morning messages turned into throughout the day check-ins. She asked about my work, sent me articles she thought I'd find interesting, called me during her lunch breaks. I found myself rushing to my phone every time it buzzed. Found myself disappointed when it wasn't her. 2 weeks after our dinner, she invited me to lunch. A small bistro near her office. I met her there wearing the necklace. She noticed immediately. Her eyes went to it, softened. It looks perfect on you, she said. I love it. I'm glad. We ordered, talked. She reached across the table and took my hand. Right there in public. Didn't care who saw. I want to see you more, she said. More than just occasional dinners and lunches. What are you saying? I'm saying I want to date you, Elira, properly, openly. My heart raced. You know what that means for me, right? I'm a reporter. People will ask questions. Let them ask. They'll dig into my life, write about us. Then we'll deal with it together. Viondra, your privacy matters less than you do. I stared at her, this powerful woman, this private, controlled person, offering to risk exposure for me. Are you sure? I whispered. I've never been more sure of anything. I squeezed her hand. Okay, let's try this. Really try. She smiled, actually beamed. And I realized I'd never seen her look so happy. Tonight, she said. Dinner at my place again. And this time, you stay later. How much later? As late as you want. The promise in her voice made my skin flush. I'll be there. That afternoon, I could barely focus on work. My mind kept drifting to her, to us, to what tonight might bring. I was falling, fast and hard. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't afraid of the landing. I didn't stay late that night. We had dinner. Kissed on her couch until my lips felt swollen. But I went home. Needed space to think, to process what was happening between us. My apartment felt empty, quiet. I made tea, sat by the window watching the city below. Snow had started again. Soft flakes against dark sky. I touched the necklace at my throat. Thought about Viandra's hands. The way she looked at me, like I was something precious. Something worth protecting. Nobody had ever looked at me like that. I pulled out my phone, scrolled through photos of her online. Professional shots mostly. Her at conferences, ribbon cuttings, charity events. Always composed, always perfect. But I'd seen the other side. The woman who cooked pasta, who laughed at my jokes, who held my hand like it was the most natural thing in the world. I wanted her, not just emotionally, physically. The ache had been building for weeks. Every touch, every kiss, every moment of restraint. I set my phone down, leaned back against the couch, let my mind wander, her hands on my waist, her mouth on my neck, her body pressed against mine. My breathing quickened. I shouldn't be thinking like this, but I couldn't stop. I imagined her pulling me close, whispering my name, those light brown eyes dark with want. My hand moved without permission, slid beneath my clothes, touched where I was already warm, already ready. I thought of her, only her, the way she smelled, the way she tasted, the way she'd feel if I let this go further. I moved slowly, built the feeling, let it consume me, her name on my lips as the pleasure crested and broke. Afterward, I sat there breathing hard, feeling exposed even alone in my apartment. This was different. This wasn't just physical attraction. This was deeper, scarier. I was falling in love with Viondra Crest. The realization hit like cold water. Love, already. How was that possible? But I felt it, in every text, every call, every moment together. She'd gotten under my skin, into my heart. And I had no idea how to stop it. Didn't want to stop it. I texted her before I could overthink it. I miss you. Her reply came within seconds. I miss you too. Come see me tomorrow. I have work. After work then. I'll wait. I smiled at my phone, this brilliant, powerful woman, waiting for me. Okay. After work. Good. Sleep well, Elira. You too. But I didn't sleep well. I lay in bed thinking of her, wanting her, already counting the hours until I could see her again. This was consuming me. She was consuming me, and I was letting it happen. The invitation arrived 2 weeks later. Heavy cardstock, gold lettering, annual Crest lifestyle masquerade ball, black tie required. A handwritten note fell out. Be my date, Viondra. I called her immediately. A masquerade ball? Are you serious? Very serious. It's my company's biggest event of the year. I want you there. I don't have anything to wear to something like that. I'll take care of it. Viondra, no more expensive gifts. This isn't a gift. This is necessity. You're my date. You need to look the part. I sighed. She was impossible to argue with. Fine, but nothing too over the top. I promise nothing to over the top. She was lying. The dress arrived 3 days later. White silk that caught the light. Floor-length, elegant, probably cost more than my car. The mask came with it. Delicate silver lace. Mysterious and beautiful. I tried everything on, stared at myself in the mirror. I looked different, expensive, like I belonged in Viendra's world, but I wasn't sure I did. The night of the ball, I was so nervous I could barely function. The car picked me up at 7. Drove to a historic hotel in New York, the kind with marble columns and gold fixtures. People in designer gowns and tuxedos filled the entrance. Everyone wore masks. Mystery and elegance everywhere. I felt completely out of my depth. Then I saw her. Viondra stood near the main doors, wearing a burgundy suit tailored perfectly to her body. Her mask was simple black, but her eyes behind it found mine instantly. She walked to me, took my hand, kissed my knuckles. "You look breathtaking," she said. "So do you. Ready?" "No." She smiled. "Good. Neither am I." We walked in together, her hand on the small of my back, possessive, protective. The ballroom was stunning. Crystal chandeliers, live orchestra, tables draped in white and gold. Everything sparkled. People noticed us. I felt their stares. Whispers followed in our wake. Viondra didn't seem to care. She introduced me to investors, colleagues, business partners. "This is Elira Ellwood. She's with me." Simple, direct, claiming me publicly. After the formalities, she led me to the dance floor. "I should warn you, I'm not a great dancer," I said. "I am. Just follow my lead." The orchestra played something slow, romantic. She pulled me close, one hand on my waist, the other holding mine. We moved together. She guided me effortlessly, made me look graceful when I felt clumsy. "Everyone's watching us," I whispered. "Let them watch. Doesn't it bother you?" "Why would it? I'm dancing with the most beautiful woman in the room." My face flushed. "You're biased." "Absolutely." She spun me gently, pulled me back against her, her breath warm on my neck. "I've been thinking about you all day," she murmured. "Just today, every day, but especially today." The music swelled. We moved as one. Everything else faded. The crowd, the lights, the pressure. Just her and me, dancing, connected. When the song ended, she didn't let go. Just held me there. "Thank you for being here," she said. "Thank you for inviting me. I want everyone to know you're mine, Elira. I'm not a possession." "I know." Poor choice of words. "I want everyone to know I'm yours then." That felt better. Truer. "You are," I said softly. "Whether I want you to be or not." "Do you want me to be?" "More than I should." She leaned in, kissed me softly, right there in front of everyone. I heard gasps, whispers, but I didn't care. I kissed her back, let the world see. When we pulled apart, her eyes were dark with something I couldn't quite name. "Let's get out of here," she said. "What about your event?" "I've made my appearance. Now I want to be alone with you." We left through a side door. Her car waited. We climbed in. The driver knew where to go without being told. We sat close, her hand on my thigh, my head on her shoulder. Neither of us spoke. Didn't need to. The night felt magical, like something from a dream, and I never wanted to wake up. The car took us back to her apartment. We rode the elevator in charged silence. My heart hammered. I knew what was about to happen, what I wanted to happen. She unlocked her door. We stepped inside. The city glittered below us through those massive windows. "Wine?" she asked. "No, no wine." She turned to face me. "What do you want, Elira?" "Honesty. I want honesty." "About what?" "About this, about us, about what you're feeling." She stepped closer, close enough that I could see the flecks of gold in her light brown eyes. "I'm falling for you," she said simply. "I've been falling since that first day, and it terrifies me because I don't fall for people. I don't let myself feel this much. But with you, I can't help it." My breath caught. "I'm falling too. I've been trying not to, trying to keep some distance, but I can't." "Then stop trying." "It's not that simple. Our lives are so different. You're this powerful CEO. I'm just a reporter trying to make a name for myself." "You're not just anything, Elira. You're brilliant, driven, real. Do you know how rare real is in my world? But your privacy, my career. How do we make that work?" "We figure it out. Together, I'm willing to compromise, if you are." I looked at her, really looked at her. This woman who'd turned my world upside down in just weeks. "I want this," I said. I want you, but I need you to be patient with me. I've never done anything like this before. Like what? Been with someone like you, someone so intense, so all-consuming. She cupped my face gently. I'll be as patient as you need. We'll go at your pace. But I need you to know something. What? I'm serious about this. About you. This isn't casual for me. I want something real. So do I. Then let me have you, Elira. Let me show you what this could be. She kissed me deeper than before, more urgent. I kissed back. Let myself give in. Her hands moved to my waist, pulled me flush against her. I felt her everywhere. Her warmth, her strength, her want. We moved to the couch. She sat. I straddled her lap, felt powerful and vulnerable all at once. Tell me if you want to stop, she whispered against my lips. I don't want to stop. Her hand slid up my back, found the zipper of my dress, paused. Yes, I breathed. She pulled the zipper down slowly. The dress loosened, slipped off my shoulders. I shivered. Not from cold, from anticipation. You're beautiful, she said, her voice rough with desire. So are you. I helped her out of her suit jacket, unbuttoned her shirt, revealed skin I'd only imagined. We took our time, learned each other. Every touch deliberate, every kiss meaningful. When we finally moved to her bedroom, the city lights painted shadows across her walls. She laid me down gently, covered my body with hers, whispered my name like a prayer, and I gave myself to her completely. Let her take me apart and put me back together. Let myself feel everything I'd been holding back. Afterward, we lay tangled together. Her fingers traced patterns on my skin. Stay, she said. I planned to. No, I mean stay. Move in with me. I lifted my head. What? It's too soon, I know, but I don't care. I want you here. Every morning. Every night. Viondra, that's crazy. Maybe, but I mean it. Ask me again in a few months. I will, and I'll keep asking until you say yes. I settled back against her, smiled in the darkness. You're impossible, and you love it. She was right. I did. I didn't move in, not yet. But I started spending most nights at her place. My apartment became somewhere I kept clothes and picked up mail. We fell into a rhythm. She'd wake early for conference calls overseas. I'd sleep in when I could. We'd have coffee together before she left for the office. She respected my work, never asked me to skip assignments or change my schedule, but she always wanted to know about my day, what stories I was covering, what I learned. I asked about her company. She told me more than I expected, the challenges, the difficult decisions, the pressure she carried. We were learning each other, the real versions, not the polished public faces. One evening, I arrived at her apartment after a long day. She was in her home office, still in business attire, on a video call that looked tense. I made dinner, something simple, waited. She emerged an hour later, looking exhausted. Bad day, I asked. Merger talks fell through, cost us millions. I'm sorry. She sank onto the couch. I brought her wine, sat beside her. Tell me something good, she said. About your day. Anything. I interviewed a woman who started a nonprofit for homeless youth. She was incredible, so passionate. It reminded me why I love this job. Viondra smiled. That's beautiful. Want to hear more? Please. I told her the whole story. She listened intently, asked questions. By the end, she looked less stressed. Thank you, she said. For what? For pulling me out of my head. For reminding me there's more to life than business. I kissed her softly, always. We spent the evening like that, talking, existing, together. No pressure, no expectations. But not everything was easy. She was private by nature, guarded. Sometimes she'd shut down when I asked about her past, about old relationships, about what made her who she was. It frustrated me. I gave her everything, told her my stories, my fears, my dreams. and she gave me pieces, but never the whole picture. One night after making love, I asked about her family. "You never talk about them," I said. She stiffened beside me. "There's not much to tell. You said they died when you were young." "How young?" 17. "I'm so sorry. What happened?" "Car accident." "Both of them at once." "That must have been devastating." "It was. Can we talk about something else?" "Viondra, I'm not trying to push. I just want to know you. You do know me, only what you choose to show me." She sat up, pulled away slightly. "Some things are private, Elira. Some things I don't talk about with anyone, even me, even you." That hurt more than I wanted to admit. "Okay," I said quietly. "I understand," but I didn't. Not really. She must have sensed my withdrawal. She reached for my hand. "It's not about trust," she said. "It's about self-preservation. Some memories are too painful to revisit." "I get that. I do. But I need you to let me in eventually. Otherwise, I'm just guessing at who you really are. You know who I am. You know me better than anyone." "Do I?" She looked at me. Really looked. Something vulnerable passed across her face. "I'm trying, Elira. This is hard for me. Letting someone close, being open. I know, and I appreciate what you do share. I'm just saying I need more eventually. You'll have it, I promise. Just give me time." I nodded, settled back against her, but a small knot of worry had formed in my chest. How much could I really know someone who kept so much locked away? My birthday arrived in early March. I'd mentioned it casually weeks before, didn't make a big deal of it. Viondra apparently had other plans. I woke in her bed to an empty space beside me, found a note on the pillow. "Happy birthday, beautiful. I have a surprise. Get dressed and meet me downstairs." I smiled, pulled on jeans and a sweater, headed down to the building's lobby. She stood outside, wearing a long coat against the cold, grinning like she'd won something. "What are you so happy about?" I asked. "Come see." She led me to the curb. There sat a car. Not just any car. A luxury sedan. And it was pink. Actual pink. "Viondra, what is this?" "Your birthday present." "You bought me a car." "Yes, a pink car. You mentioned once you thought pink cars were fun, so I got you one." I stood there speechless. This was insane. Cars like this cost more than I made in 2 years. "I can't accept this," I said. Her smile faltered. "Why not?" "Because it's too much. Way too much. This is crazy. It's a gift, Elira, from me to you. Gifts are flowers or jewelry or books, not cars, not expensive luxury cars. Money doesn't mean the same thing to me that it means to you. I know that, but this is too much. It feels like you're trying to buy something." Her face hardened. "Buy what exactly?" "I don't know, my affection, my loyalty, something." "That's insulting." "Is it because from where I'm standing, this feels like you're trying to change me? Make me fit into your world?" "I'm trying to give you something nice. Something you deserve." "Why is that so wrong?" People walking by were starting to stare. I lowered my voice. "Can we talk about this inside?" "No, we're talking about it now. I worked hard to find this car. I wanted to make you happy. And you're throwing it back in my face." "I'm not throwing anything. I'm just saying this is too much for me to accept. Because you don't think you deserve it. Because I don't want to feel indebted to you." She looked like I'd slapped her. "You think that's what this is about? Keeping score, isn't it? Every gift, every expensive dinner, every time you pay for something, it creates an imbalance. Easy for you to say. You have all the power here, Viondra. All the money, all the control. That's not fair, isn't it?" We stared at each other, both hurt, both frustrated. "I just wanted to do something nice," she said quietly. "I just wanted to see you smile." The anger drained out of me. She looked genuinely hurt, and I'd caused it. "I know," I said, "and I appreciate the thought. I really do. But this is too much. Please understand that." "I don't. I'll never understand why you won't just let me give you things. because I need to feel equal in this relationship. And I don't when you're constantly giving me things I could never afford to give you. She was quiet for a long moment, then nodded slowly. Okay, I hear you, but I'm not taking the car back. It's yours. You can sell it if you want, or drive it, or let it sit in a garage. But it's yours, Viondra. No, I'm done arguing about this. Happy birthday, Elira. She walked back inside, left me standing there with a pink car I didn't want, and a relationship that suddenly felt more complicated than ever. We didn't talk for 2 days after the car incident, both of us too stubborn to reach out first. I threw myself into work, a major investigation into housing corruption, interviews, research, late nights at the office. The pink car sat in a garage near my apartment, untouched, a reminder of our first real fight. On the 3rd day, she texted, "I miss you." Just that. Simple and honest. I stared at the message, missed her too desperately. "I miss you too. Can I see you? I'm buried in work. Big story deadline. I understand when you're free. I don't know. This might take a week or more. Okay, I'll wait." And she did. She didn't push, didn't demand my time, just sent occasional messages. "Thinking of you. Hope the story is going well. I'm here when you need me." The investigation consumed me. 18-hour days, mountains of documents, sources who kept canceling meetings, but I loved it. This was why I became a reporter. To uncover truth, to hold power accountable. Viondra respected that. Even when I canceled our plans, even when I didn't call for days. One night, I fell asleep at my desk. Woke to my phone buzzing. "Have you eaten?" Viondra's text read. I looked at the clock. 11 at night. "No, I'm sending food." "You don't have to." "I know, but I'm doing it anyway." 30 minutes later, delivery arrived. Thai food from my favorite place, enough for 3 meals. With a note, "Take care of yourself. I love watching you work, but you need to eat. V." Tears pricked my eyes. She got it. Got me. Got that my work mattered. I called her. "Thank you," I said when she answered. "You're welcome. I'm sorry I've been so absent." "Don't apologize. I'm proud of you. This story is important." "It is. But so are you. I'll still be here when you're done. Take the time you need. I don't deserve you." "Yes, you do. Now eat and get back to work." I smiled. "Yes, ma'am." The story broke a week later. Front page, major impact. My editor called it career-defining work. The first person I wanted to tell was Viondra. I showed up at her apartment unannounced. She opened the door in casual clothes. Her face lit up seeing me. "Elira," I finished. "Come in." I stepped inside, suddenly felt shy. We hadn't seen each other in 2 weeks. Hadn't touched. Hadn't been close. "I'm sorry," I said. "About the car. About pulling away. About everything." "Stop. You have nothing to apologize for." "I do. I overreacted. You were trying to be generous and I made it about control." She stepped closer. "I was insensitive. I didn't consider how it would make you feel. We both made mistakes. Can we start over?" "We don't need to start over. We just need to keep going." She pulled me into her arms. I melted against her. God, I'd missed this. Missed her. "Tell me about the story," she said. We sat on her couch. I told her everything. She listened intently, asked smart questions, celebrated my success like it was her own. "I'm so proud of you," she said. "Thank you for giving me space to do this. Always. Your work matters, Elira. I'll never ask you to compromise that. And I'll try to be better about accepting your generosity, even when it scares me. Deal." We spent the night reconnecting, talking, making love like we'd been apart for months instead of weeks. And I realized something important. This could work. Our different worlds, our different lives. As long as we kept communicating, kept trying. Love wasn't about being the same. It was about respecting the differences and finding balance. Spring arrived, the city transformed, Trees budding, warmer days, everything felt new. Work settled into a normal rhythm. I was assigned to cover a series on local businesses. Nothing too intense, which meant more time with Viondra. We were good again, better than good. The fight over the car had somehow strengthened us, made us more honest. I still hadn't driven the pink car. It sat in that garage. Eventually, I'd figure out what to do with it. My colleague Marcus started acting strange around me. We'd worked together for years, always professional, friendly. But lately he lingered near my desk, asked about my weekend plans, complimented my work more than necessary. I didn't think much of it until he asked me to dinner. Just colleagues, he said, celebrating your big story. That's nice, Marcus, but I'm seeing someone. Oh, I didn't realize. Anyone I know? No, she's not in journalism. His face did something weird. Surprise, maybe. Disappointment. She? Yes. Problem. No, of course not. I just didn't know. After that, he kept his distance, which was fine. I had enough complications without work awkwardness. What I didn't know was that Viondra had noticed him. She sometimes picked me up from work, would wait outside in her car. One evening, Marcus was leaving at the same time as me. He walked me out. Have a good night, Elira, he said. You too. Viondra was waiting. I got in. She was quiet as we drove away. Who was that? She asked. Marcus's a colleague. He likes you. What? No. We're just co-workers. Elira, I saw the way he looked at you. He definitely likes you. Even if he did, it doesn't matter. I'm with you. Does he know that? I told him I'm seeing someone. He backed off. She was quiet the rest of the drive. I could feel tension radiating off her. At her apartment, she poured wine, stood by the windows. Talk to me, I said. I don't like the way he looks at you. Viondra, he's harmless. Men like that are never harmless. Are you jealous? Yes, I'm insanely jealous. Because you're brilliant and beautiful, and any person with eyes would want you. I crossed to her, took the wine glass from her hand. But I'm yours, nobody else's. I know that logically. But seeing him near you made me want to stake a claim. Mark my territory. I'm not territory. I know. Wrong words again. I just don't like sharing. You're not sharing. There's only you, Viondra. Only ever you. She pulled me close, kissed me hard, possessive. Mine, she whispered against my lips. Yours. What I didn't know was that Viondra had already handled it, had found out Marcus's full name, where he lived, and paid him a visit. I only learned about it weeks later from another colleague. Hey, did Marcus say why he transferred to the Chicago office? She asked me. What? Marcus transferred. Yeah. Put in for it last week. Said he needed a change. Something cold settled in my stomach. That was sudden. Too sudden. That night, I confronted Viondra. Did you do something to Marcus? She looked up from her laptop. Who? My colleague, the one you thought liked me. Oh, him. Viondra, what did you do? I had a conversation with him. What kind of conversation? The kind where I made it clear that you're taken, and that pursuing you would be extremely unwise. You threatened him. I wouldn't call it a threat. More like a strong suggestion. That's why he transferred. If he chose to leave, that's his decision. I stared at her. This was a side of Viondra I hadn't fully seen. Protective, possessive, willing. To use her power to eliminate perceived threats. You can't do things like that, I said. I can, and I did. He was making you uncomfortable. He wasn't. And even if he was, I can handle myself. I know you can. But you shouldn't have to. Viondra, I need you to promise me you won't interfere with my work again. She set her laptop aside. Stood. I can't promise that. What? If someone threatens you or makes you uncomfortable, I will handle it. That's who I am. That's controlling. That's caring. It's too much. For you maybe, but not for me. We stared at each other. Another line drawn. Another difference exposed. I need some air, I said. I left. Walked the streets for an hour, trying to process this. The woman I loved was powerful, used to getting her way, used to controlling situations, and I didn't know if I could live with that. I went back. Of course I went back, because despite everything I loved her, and love made you forgive things you probably shouldn't. She was waiting on the couch when I returned, looking worried, vulnerable in a way she rarely showed. "I'm sorry," she said immediately. "I overstepped. I know that. You did. I just can't stand the thought of someone making you uncomfortable or wanting you. It brings out something primal in me. I get that. But you have to trust that I can handle my own situations. I do trust you. I don't trust other people around you." "That's the same thing, Viondra." She sighed, ran her hands through her hair. "You're right. I know you're right. I'll do better. Promise me. No more interfering with my work or my colleagues. I promise. Unless someone actually hurts you, then all bets are off." It wasn't perfect, but it was honest. "Okay," I said. "I can live with that." Relief flooded her face. She stood, crossed to me, cupped my face gently. "I love you," she said. The words hung between us. First time either of us had said them out loud. "I love you too," I whispered. She kissed me, deep and slow, pouring everything into it. We'd been intimate before, but this felt different, more meaningful, like we'd crossed some invisible threshold. She led me to the bedroom, undressed me slowly, reverently, like I was something sacred. I did the same for her, revealed skin and curves, learned her body all over again. We made love for hours, taking our time, no rush. She touched me like she was memorizing every inch, kissed places that made me gasp, brought me to the edge and back until I was shaking. When it was my turn, I explored her, found what made her moan, what made her grip the sheets, what made her call my name. We moved together, two bodies learning to be one, finding rhythm, finding home. Afterward, we lay tangled together, sweaty, breathless, completely satisfied. "Stay with me forever," she whispered. "That's a long time, not long enough." I traced patterns on her bare shoulder. "What are we doing, Viondra?" "Building something together. It feels big, scary. The best things usually do. I'm afraid I'll disappoint you." "Impossible. I'm afraid you'll get tired of me, of my ordinary life." She turned to face me, those light brown eyes serious. "Your life isn't ordinary, Elira. You're extraordinary, and I will never tire of you. Not in this lifetime or any other." "You can't know that." "Yes, I can, because I've never felt like this. Never wanted someone the way I want you. Never needed someone the way I need you. What if it doesn't work? What if it does?" I had no answer for that, so I kissed her instead. Let my body say what words couldn't. We fell asleep like that, holding each other, and I dreamed of futures I'd never let myself imagine before. Summer settled over the city, hot days, humid nights. Viondra and I had been together for nearly 6 months. We were good most days, great even, but there were still walls between us, places she wouldn't let me go. I'd learned not to push too hard about her past, but it bothered me how little I really knew about what shaped her. One evening we were having dinner at her place, wine and pasta, comfortable silence. "Tell me about your first love," I said casually. She stiffened. "Why?" "Because I want to know. I've told you about mine. The girl in college who broke my heart. You never talk about yours. There's nothing to talk about. Everyone has a first love. Not everyone wants to revisit it. I'm not asking you to revisit it. I'm asking you to share it. It's not important. It is to me." She set down her fork. "Can we not do this?" "Do what?" "Have a normal conversation about our pasts. Dig into things that don't matter anymore. They matter because they made you who you are, and I want to understand who you are. You do understand me, only the parts you show me. The rest is locked away. And I'm tired of feeling like I'm only getting pieces. I've given you more than I've given anyone. That's not enough for me." She stood, paced to the windows. What do you want from me, Elira? Honesty, openness, the things I give you every day. It's not that simple. Why not? Because some things are too painful. Some memories are better left buried. But they're not buried if they're still affecting you. If they're still keeping you closed off. She turned, her face hard, defensive. I'm not closed off. Yes, you are. Anytime I get close to something real, you shut down, change the subject, pull away. That's not fair, isn't it? Tell me one real thing about your past. About who you were before you became this successful CEO. About what hurt you. About what you're afraid of. I can't or won't, both. Then I don't know how we move forward. Silence stretched between us, heavy and painful. Are you giving me an ultimatum? She asked quietly. No, I'm telling you what I need. And if you can't give it, then maybe we're not as compatible as I thought. So that's it. You're just done. I'm not done. But I can't keep loving someone who won't let me truly know them. You do know me. I know the version you want me to see. That's not the same thing. Tears burned in her eyes. She blinked them back. I don't know how to give you what you want. Then learn, because this halfway thing isn't working for me anymore. I grabbed my bag, headed for the door. Elira, wait. I stopped. Didn't turn around. I need time, she said. Time to figure out how to do this. How much time? I don't know. Then call me when you figure it out. I left, walked out of her apartment, her building, her life temporarily, and cried the entire way home. A week passed, no calls, no texts, complete silence. I threw myself into work again, covered stories, interviewed people, pretended I was fine. I wasn't fine. I missed her constantly. The way she laughed, the way she held me, the way she made me feel like I mattered. But I couldn't compromise on this. I needed more than surface-level connection. I needed depth. My friend Sarah noticed something was wrong. You look miserable, she said over coffee. I'm fine. You're a terrible liar. What happened? I told her everything. The fight, the walls, the distance. So you walked away? Sarah asked. I gave her space to figure things out. Do you think she will? I don't know. Maybe I'm asking too much. Maybe some people just can't open up. Or maybe she needs to know it's safe. That you won't leave if she shows you her scars. How do I prove that when she won't let me close enough? Sarah had no answer for that. Meanwhile, Viondra was struggling too. I didn't know it then, but she barely slept, barely ate, sat in her apartment, staring at her phone. She'd built walls for good reasons: protection, self-preservation. After losing her parents, after failed relationships, after learning that vulnerability led to pain. But now those walls were costing her the one person who actually mattered. She wanted to reach out, but didn't know what to say. Didn't know how to give what I needed without breaking apart. On day 9, her assistant found her crying in her office. First time in years anyone had seen her cry. Are you okay, Miss Crest? No, I'm really not. That night she sat down and wrote, poured everything onto paper. Her childhood, her parents' death, the loneliness, the fear, the walls she'd built. She wrote about past lovers who'd wanted her money, her status, everything but her. She wrote about meeting me, how I'd seen her as a person first, how that terrified and thrilled her. She wrote about loving me, about wanting to be better for me, about not knowing how. When she finished, it was dawn. Pages and pages of truth. She picked up her phone. Can I see you? She texted. My heart jumped seeing her name. When? Now, please. I should have made her wait, made her work for it, but I couldn't. I'll be there. I arrived at her apartment 20 minutes later. She answered the door, looking exhausted. Beautiful but broken. Come in, she said quietly. I stepped inside. The apartment felt different, colder. Or maybe that was just us. I wrote something, she said. For you. She handed me pages. Her handwriting. Neat but rushed in places. What is this? Everything. Everything you asked for. Everything I've been too scared to say. I looked at the pages, then at her. Viondra, read it. Please, then decide if you still want me. I sat on the couch, started reading. Her childhood was lonely. Only child. Parents who loved her, but were always working. She raised herself in many ways. When they died, she was 17, about to start college, suddenly completely alone. She'd built her company as much to survive as to succeed. Threw herself into work because it was safer than people. Her first relationship ended because the woman only wanted her money. Second, because Viondra couldn't open up. Third, because she chose work over love. She'd convinced herself she was better alone. That love was a distraction, a weakness, until me. I'd cracked something open in her. Made her want things she'd given up on. Made her feel alive in ways she'd forgotten, but that terrified her. Because opening up meant risking pain. And she'd had enough pain for one lifetime. The last page was about me specifically. I love you, Elira, more than I thought possible. You scare me because you see me, really see me. And I'm afraid if I show you everything, you'll realize I'm not worth loving. That beneath the success and control, I'm just someone broken, trying to hold it together. But I want to try. For you, I want to try to be braver, to let you in. Because losing you would hurt worse than any truth I'm hiding. Tears streamed down my face by the end. I looked up. She stood by the windows, arms wrapped around herself. I'm sorry I pushed you away, she said. I'm sorry I made you feel like you weren't enough, when really I'm the one who isn't enough. Don't say that. It's true. You deserve someone who can give you everything freely. And I'm just figuring out how. I stood, cross to her, took her face in my hands. You're not broken, Viondra. You're human, with scars and fears like everyone else. And I love all of it. The strong parts and the scared parts. How can you love someone this damaged? Because you're not damaged. You're surviving. There's a difference. She broke. Actually broke. Tears she'd been holding back for years. I held her, let her cry, let her release everything she'd been carrying alone. We sank to the floor, held each other. Two people trying to figure out how to love despite everything that made it hard. I don't know how to do this, she whispered. We'll figure it out together. That's what love is. Figuring it out together. What if I mess up again? Then we'll work through it. But you have to promise to try. To let me in even when it's scary. I promise. I really promise. We sat there for a long time, on her floor, holding each other, starting over in the best way. After that night, everything changed. Viondra started really opening up, little by little, day by day. She told me about her mother, how she loved gardens, how she'd sing while cooking, how she died too young. She told me about her father, quiet and steady, how he taught her about business, how he believed in her even when nobody else did. She told me about the years after, working 3 jobs to pay for college, building her company from nothing, the sacrifices, and she told me about the loneliness, how success felt hollow when you had nobody to share it with, how she'd given up on finding someone real. I listened to all of it, held space for her pain, didn't judge or try to fix, just accepted. In return, I shared more of myself, my own fears, my insecurities about our different worlds, my worry that I'd never be enough for someone like her. You're everything, she said. Everything I didn't know I needed. We learned to communicate better, to say what we needed, to ask for space when overwhelmed, to come back together when ready. It wasn't perfect. We still fought sometimes, still had moments of frustration, but we fought fair, and we always came back to each other. One evening in late summer, she took me to dinner, somewhere quiet and intimate, not the usual high-end restaurants. I want to show you something after, she said. What? A surprise. We finished dinner. She drove us herself. No driver, just us. We ended up at a cemetery. She parked, led me through paths until we reached 2 headstones. Her parents? I haven't been here in years, she said. Too painful. But I wanted to bring you. Wanted them to meet you in whatever way that's possible. I held her hand. She told them about me. About us. About finally finding happiness. I think they'd like you, she said. I think they'd be proud of you. I hope so. We stood there as evening turned to night, stars appearing overhead. Thank you for sharing this with me, I said. Thank you for making it feel safe to share. That was the turning point. After that, the walls came down completely. She let me see everything, the good, the bad, the messy parts she'd hidden from everyone else, and I loved her more for it. Not despite the scars, but because of them. Because they made her real, human, mine. Fall arrived. The city cooled. Leaves changed. Everything felt new again. Viondra and I had been together nearly a year. We'd weathered storms, learned each other, built something real. But we still had to figure out the practical stuff. Her privacy. My public career. How to balance both. A tabloid ran a story about us. Nothing scandalous. Just photos of us together. Speculation about our relationship. Viondra was furious. They have no right to invade our privacy. It comes with the territory, I said. You're a public figure. That doesn't give them permission to publish photos of us. Actually, it kind of does. We were in public. No expectation of privacy. So we just accept this. We set boundaries. Decide what we share and what we keep private. We talked for hours. Figured out what worked for both of us. She'd be open about our relationship in professional settings. Acknowledge me, but keep personal details private. I'd be careful about what I shared in my work. Wouldn't use our relationship for stories. Wouldn't exploit her trust. It wasn't perfect, but it was fair. My editor called me in one day. I heard you're dating Viondra Crest. I am. Any conflict of interest I should know about? No, I don't cover business news. And I wouldn't write about her company even if I did. Good, just checking. Congratulations, by the way. Thanks. Word spread at work. Some people were supportive, others jealous. A few made comments about me using the relationship to get ahead. I ignored them. I knew the truth. My success was my own. Viondra dealt with her own speculation. Business associates asking about me. Investors wondering if I was a distraction. She shut it down quickly. My personal life doesn't affect my professional performance. Next question. We learned to exist in both worlds. Public when necessary. Private when possible. Date nights became quiet evenings at home. Cooking together. Watching movies. Just being. When we did go out, we chose carefully. Places that respected privacy. Where we could hold hands without cameras. It worked. Slowly but surely, we found balance. One night, she asked me about the pink car again. What are you going to do with it? I honestly don't know. Drive it. Maybe. It feels weird. Like accepting it means something. It means I love you. That's all. Okay. Then I'll drive it. Really? Really? It's a gift from someone I love. I should appreciate it. She grinned. Thank you. But no more cars. Seriously. I make no promises. I laughed. She was impossible. But she was mine. October brought cold rain and early darkness. Viondra and I had been dancing around something for weeks. I was spending almost every night at her place. My apartment sat mostly empty. I paid rent on a space I barely used. One evening she brought it up directly. Move in with me. What? Officially, bring your things. Make this your home too. Viondra, we talked about this. It's too soon. It's been a year. How is that too soon? What if it doesn't work out? What if it does? I looked around her apartment. It was beautiful. Expensive hers. I don't know if I'd fit here. Then we'll make it fit. We'll redecorate. Add your things. Make it ours instead of mine. You'd do that? I'd do anything for you, Elira. Haven't you figured that out yet? Something shifted in me. The last piece of resistance falling away. Okay. Yes, I'll move in. She pulled me into her arms, kissed me hard. You won't regret this. I better not. We spent the next 2 weeks transforming her apartment into ours. She cleared half her closet, made space in drawers, let me choose art for the walls. We painted one room together, turned it into a home office for me, somewhere I could work on stories, have privacy when needed. She hung photos of us, something she'd never done before, making our relationship visible in her space. Moving day was chaos, my few belongings, her helping me unpack, both of us laughing at how little I actually owned compared to her. We need to get you more clothes, she said. I have enough clothes. You have 5 pairs of jeans and 10 shirts. That's plenty. We're going shopping. Viondra, no. Yes, you're my partner. You should have nice things. I don't need nice things, but I want to give them to you. We compromised. I let her buy me a few outfits. Nothing too expensive. Just enough to make her happy. That first night, officially living together, felt significant. We made dinner together, sat on our couch, watched the city lights. This feels right. It does. I love you, Elira. I love you too. We fell into new routines. Morning coffee together, her leaving for work first, me working from home some days, coming together in the evenings. She respected my space, didn't hover, let me have my independence within our shared life. I learned her rhythms when she needed quiet, when she needed touch, when she needed to talk through problems. We fit together. Different puzzle pieces, making something whole. One Sunday morning, I woke to her watching me. What? I asked sleepily. Just memorizing this? You in my bed, in our home, looking peaceful. Our home. I like the sound of that. Me too. She kissed me softly. We made love slowly, lazily. No rush. Afterward, we stayed in bed for hours, talking about nothing, about everything, about the future. Where do you see us in 5 years? She asked. Together, still figuring things out, still loving each other. That's all. That's everything. She smiled. Winter returned. A year had passed since we met. Full circle. We were different people now. Softer, more open, more us. Viondra surprised me one evening. Handed me an envelope. What's this? Open it. Inside were plane tickets. 2 of them. To Greece. We're going on vacation, she said. Next month. 2 weeks. Just us. No work. No obligations. Viondra, I can't just take 2 weeks off. Yes, you can. I already talked to your editor. She approved it. You what? Surprised you? You're unbelievable. Is that a yes? I looked at the tickets, at her hopeful face, at this life we'd built together. Yes. Absolutely yes. She grinned. Good, because I already booked everything. Of course you did. The trip was perfect. White beaches, blue water, sunshine and warmth after months of cold. We stayed in a villa overlooking the ocean, spent days exploring, nights making love with windows open to the sound of waves. Do you ever want to get married? I asked one night. Honestly, no. Marriage feels like a piece of paper. I don't need that to commit to you. Good, because I don't either. Really? Really? This is enough us. I like that. Building something real. We watched sunsets, existed in a bubble where only we mattered. On our last night there, she took my hand. I want to travel the world with you, she said. See everything, experience everything. Make a lifetime of memories. That sounds amazing. Let's do it then. Let's make it a priority. Not just work, not just survival. Actually living. Okay, yes, let's do it. We returned home different, more committed to actually enjoying life together. Back in New York, we settled into our rhythm again, but with new plans, new dreams. She scaled back at work, made time for us a priority. I took on projects that excited me, instead of just paying bills, wrote stories that mattered. We traveled whenever we could, long weekends, week-long trips. Friends asked when we'd get married. We just smiled and said never. This was better than marriage. This was choice. Every day choosing each other. No obligation. Just love. One evening, 2 years after we met, we sat on our couch. City lights below, wine in hand. "Are you happy?" she asked. "Completely." "Me too. Happier than I ever thought possible." "What changed?" "You. You changed everything. You changed me too." We sat in comfortable silence. To people who'd found each other against odds, who'd worked through differences, who'd chosen love over fear. "Forever's a long time," I said. "Not long enough with you." I kissed her. This woman who'd turned my world upside down, who'd taught me about real love, real partnership. "I love you, Viondra. I love you, Elira Ellwood." We didn't need marriage certificates or public declarations. We had something better. We had each other today, tomorrow, for however many forevers we got.
You move soft through crowded space, like a thought I couldn't chase. Stillness wrapped in breathing art, pulled a rhythm through my heart. Something in your subtle tone made the world feel overthrown. You're the pulse I can't replace, pulling through my steady pace. When I run, you draw me near, cut the noise I used to hear. If tomorrow falls to dust, you're the truth I learned to trust. Time dissolves when you appear. No one else compares to here. Depth that hits without a sound turns my balance upside down. I was safe in hardened lines till you wrote all my signs. You're the pulse I can't replace, pulling through my steady pace. When I run, you draw me near, cut the noise I used to hear. If tomorrow falls to dust, you're the truth I learned to trust. If I fall through walls I built, let it drown my careful guilt. What I found in you is real, more than anything I feel. You're the pulse I can't replace, pulling through my steady pace. When I run, you draw me near, cut the noise I used to hear. If tomorrow falls to dust, you're the truth I learned to trust.
Thank you for watching Sapphic Story Hour. Please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, bye-bye.